Today, the United States Congress took its most formal step towards impeaching President Trump. The Judiciary Committee passing 2 articles of impeachment, a move that came after 2 consecutive days of debate that ranged from solemn to rancorous to, at times, exhausted. Chairman Nadler ultimately adjourning a marathon session close to midnight, bringing members back for this today.
Impeaching President Donald J. Trump for abusing his powers. The clerk will call the roll. Impeaching President Donald J. Trump for obstructing Congress. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, there are 23 ayes and 17 noes.
And that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. If you follow the news, you heard this was coming. You watched the process unfold or saw it on your phone or on the internet. The hours that led up to what may seem like, in its essence, a kind of a little moment, a party line vote. But it is a vote that actually changes everything. It puts House Democrats on record and on track for a full vote of the United States Congress on the House floor next week. From what we can tell right now, there's no going back. And if the House passes impeachment, it will then tap the managers who could act as prosecutors in this battle. You're looking at just some of the famous faces under consideration. And then it would tee up the Senate trial. Republicans now rallying around a blatantly partisan approach. Senator McConnell saying he is going to do full coordination with Trump's lawyers. That actually may violate an oath that he has to swear. Excuse me. May violate an oath he has to swear. We're going to get into that later tonight as well. But before I go any further, I want you to just understand, as we go and live through these times together, that this is historic, no matter how you count it up. Donald Trump on track now to become only the 3rd president ever impeached and the first elected president to face such a rebuke in his first term. Pause on that right there and understand that's an asterisk that's far worse than steroids next to a home run record. That's a historical blight on his record. America has never done this, never, ever impeached a president elected in their first term. Never happened. And Donald Trump may not be a student of history, but he is certainly a student of ego and comparisons, and he knows this, and he doesn't like it. So everyone out there who's saying, well, if it doesn't lead to anything or doesn't change anything in the end, what does it even mean? Well, it means a lot. And the judiciary hearings may have, I would admit, exhausted viewers and participants alike. We want to show you right now, briefly, some of the important moments that got us here.
We're here today because the president abused his power. We're here today because he solicited foreign interference in the 2020 election. He's a serial solicitor.
What are the consequences for our national security, for the integrity of our elections, and for our country if we fail to act?
I am proud to have written a bill that was signed into law by President Trump. I am not proud of the president's actions that bring us here tonight.
Not proud, but there we were. Now, the House is marching towards impeachment. Donald Trump's advisors now admit he was basically lying when he spent those weeks claiming that he was down with impeachment, that he wanted it to happen. The reports are now Trump views this as a, quote, humiliation. The PR-conscious president seeing coverage that history will now forever associate his presidency with Nixon, Johnson, and those other impeachment scandals I mentioned. Another measure of Donald Trump's anger, he broke his own record for tweeting during the Judiciary Committee markup and the ensuing process because he tweeted 123 times over a roughly 24-hour period, another form of anger release. Now, today, President Trump gave extended remarks in response to this vote. And as he spoke, we should note 3 of his top aides sat by. You can see them right there that are embroiled in the scandal. They've actually been called out by Congress for aiding and alleging the obstruction. Mike Pompeo, Mick Mulvaney, Mike Pence. Donald Trump made several arguments today, some hyperbolic, some false, but it's worth reckoning with some parts of the defense. The president laying out for his allies how he wants to fight this looming Senate trial. And note that unlike some of the past discredited complaints about bias or witch hunts, Trump also hitting on a defense of the Ukraine conduct itself.
It's a witch hunt. It's a sham. It's a hoax. You're trivializing impeachment. They would kept saying me. It said us. Can you do us a favor? Our country, comma, our country.
The White House essentially backing up that argument, releasing this new memo that says that, well, the military aid that was withheld from Ukraine temporarily was about U.S. policy, not some kind of political vendetta against the Bidens. As all this is going down, the defense of Donald Trump's Ukraine actions, where was Ukraine henchman Rudy Giuliani? Take a look. He went walking into the White House. This was right before the Judiciary Committee voted on those impeachment articles. All this fresh off the trip to Ukraine last week, where he was, again, basically soliciting the very investigations and the type of meddling that Donald Trump's getting impeached over. Look at all this together and you see what Democrats are arguing. High crimes. They occurred and they arguably continue to occur. A reminder of the ongoing stakes in this historic battle. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.